Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have a three-part mobilization for you. We are going to do some quads, just your typical nice quad smash, and then we're going to get into your glutes a little bit, and then we're going to finish off with your lumbar, your lower lumbar spine, doing a nice little soft tissue manipulation there. So what you'll need today is you will need a barbell. If you don't have a barbell, you could use a heavy plate or maybe a dumbbell, a kettlebell, something that you just want to be able to maneuver and to really dig it with some weight into your quad. And you will also need your lacrosse ball, and you'll need some sort of chair or a box, something where you can actually sit on it and have your knee hang down at a 90-degree angle. So a bench, a box, a chair would be great. Ball, barbell. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with your quad smash. So you're just going to sit nice and tall. You're going to grab that barbell or whatever it is you may be using, and you're just going to have your legs out in front of you, and you're just going to gently actually start right above your knee, never on the knee joint, right above your knee, and just let that weight sit there for a second. If this is too much, if this is too intense, you can always use the sleeve of the barbell. It's a little less gnarly. But do what's comfortable for you. And if you're using a dumbbell, maybe get if you can, you get the handle of the barbell in there, or I'm sorry, the dumbbell. Kettlebell, you can always use the handle, or even a heavy plate you could use as well to get down in there. Ideally, you want a barbell. You should do this post-training. This is such a great way to get into your quads. It's uncomfortable, again, remember, but anything that's uncomfortable is what's going to get you into that area where you can kind of desensitize the pain, the pain that's going to your brain. So that's just part of mobility, right? So what you want to do is you want to just start gently, get that other leg out of the way, and just slowly up and down. Start at the bottom. You want to be able to pull that barbell towards you. If you find a spot that is particularly icky, there's a great technique you can use where it's called contract and relax. You can do this with any mobilization. What that means is you get that barbell there. You want to contract the muscle, hold for 4 seconds, and then release. And that way you really want to feel that barbell pulling towards that femur. You really want to try to relax your muscle as much as possible while you're mobilizing. It's so hard, but it's so uncomfortable. But really the true test of that, if you're relaxed, is to try that contract and that relax method. And that'll be a great way. It's also a great way just to get into any sticky part of your leg. And you can play around too with opening your leg, flaring your heel out, getting kind of that inside. There's a real sticky spot right here that kind of hurts people a lot. Or you can also kind of try to get the outside. Just be careful. You never ever want to put any strain on that knee joint. So just be mindful while you're doing your mobilization to keep the barbell away from your knee joint. And all you're going to do is spend about 3 to 4 minutes here. Just up and down that quad. If you find a spot that's sticky, stay there. Try that contract and relax. Try to really make sure you're relaxing and breathing. Remember breath, use that breath. And up and down that quad. Again, this is something you can do post-training. After squats, running, a lot of you runners do tight quads. Really just to loosen up those quads because it's such a big muscle group that you want to be able to keep nice and healthy. Okay, so 3 minutes on this side. If you need to pause the video, please go ahead and do so and finish up your 3 minutes, and then you're going to go on to your other side. Once again, start right above that knee joint and just let it sit there for a second. Find your breath, calm your body down, and then go ahead and start movement. And again, remember, if you find a spot that's particularly painful, you want to be able to desensitize it, declog it, get everything nice and flowy, gets blood flow through to that fascia, to that muscle tissue. So again, try that contract and relax method. If you find a spot, contract that quad, 4 seconds, everything nice and tight, and then really release and feel that barbell melting towards that femur. And again, Go as far up as you can, as you like. And again, you can flare that leg out, get the outside, get the inside, really play around with whatever you need. You can stay in one spot for a while, but you really want to try to get some movement. So maybe at least try to go up and down your leg 8 to 10 times if you can. But again, if you need to stop in a certain spot, do that and work it out there. So again, go ahead, pause this, finish up your 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll go on to the next mobility exercise. Okay, now let's get into your glutes, okay? So you're going to need for this, you're going to need that chair or that bench or that box or something that allows you to have your knee bent at a 90-degree angle. And this is a very simple glute smash. All you're really concentrating on is that glute muscle, your biggest muscle group, right? So you want to be careful to not get into your hamstrings, okay? It's real easy to slide down into those hammies, but you really want to just concentrate on your glute, your biggest muscle group. So you're going to place that ball really on that sit bone and just get moving. And you want to be able, like I said, to have something where you can really play around with your long, short lever positions. Because usually when you're laying down on the ground, and if you get that lacrosse ball in there, you're only just here. So you really want to try to be able to get some movement and shift side to side. Again, just stay in that glute. Stay in that glute muscle. It's a big one. So you should have no problem moving it around. Find movement, and again, if you find a spot that's sticky, stop there for a second. Use your breath. Try to really melt down as much as you can into that ball and move it around. Again, 3 to 4 minutes. Just stay in that glute. You can even bend over to the side, kind of get that outside, move it around. This is just a real simple way to smash out that glute muscle. Get anything that's real tight and nagging in there. Again, you want to try to stay away from your hammy so you can get down a little bit to that connective area, but just stay in that glute. Stay in that glute. Small circles, front to side, back to back. 3 minutes. So go ahead, pause this, spend 3 minutes on your right glute, and then when you're done, pause this, and then go ahead and we'll switch over to your other side. Left glute. Same thing, just place that ball in that glute muscle. Stay away from the hammy. So you really want to stay here. You don't want to try to get down here. It's real easy to try to get into those hamstrings, but you really just want to concentrate on your glute. And move around. It's not hard to find a spot that feels icky in your glute. You use your glute a lot. Obviously, it's your biggest muscle group. We use it all the time. The thing about your glute is you tend to get it tends to get real flattened out because you spend a lot of time sitting, right? So if you're constantly sitting, putting pressure on that glute muscle, the fascia tends to get real ironed out, real flat. So what this does is this breaks it all up. That breaks up all that soft tissue, that fascia, get that blood flow in there, keeps it nice and healthy. So again, 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes in your right side, 3 to 4 minutes on your left. And while you're there, like I said, play around with your levers, your long levers. Stick your leg out, cross your leg over. Some people like to do that. That really kind of exposes that external rotation of that hip on the side you're mobilizing. That feels good sometimes. Again, you can pull your knee up, extend it, go below you. Just really play with your leg positioning while you're mobilizing your glute muscle, because your leg is always in all these different positions while utilizing your glute, so why not mobilize while doing that? So again, 3 to 4 minutes on your right, 3 to 4 minutes on your left with the lacrosse ball on your hard surface. Go ahead, pause this, and then we'll get into our next movement. So our last movement that we're going to be working on is your lumbar, your lower lumbar spine. So the area that we're going to be concentrating on specifically is you want to think about if this is your spine, your neck, all the way down to right before your pelvis here. If this is your pelvis, you want to think about this area right here. We're really just going to work on that tissue. You want to start here to the right of your spine, right on top of your pelvis there, and we're just gonna work our way out towards the outside. So just that nice strip that your lower back, that some people have that real indiscriminate back pain from running a lot, from the deadlifts. Like I said, this is be a good time to get into your hamstrings too, because your hammies might be tight, so you can go back and do that hamstring stretch I've done in the past video. But otherwise, you're just gonna lay down. You can use a wall for this too, but just get your legs at a 90-degree angle. Then you're gonna place that ball, like I said, if this is your spine and this is your pelvis, right, you're gonna start there in that crease where your spine and your pelvis meet. Not on your pelvis, not on your spine, just right there, your lower back. And you're just gonna sit there for a second, get used to that pressure. Breathe, remember, use your breath. And what the utilization of this box or chair or wall will allow you to kind of scrape side to side. You're just using that for pressure. So you're gonna start moving that ball right along that pelvis, top of that pelvis, just right along that lower back wall line, right above your booty, and just massage all that out. If you find a spot that's particularly icky, again, you can pause for a second and then relax and just try to melt that ball a little bit further. And once again, you can see with my legs, I'm playing with leg position. You can, once again, move your move your legs around. See what you need while you're doing it. This is all about, getting to understand your body, different positionings, certain positionings, like I said, mobilize in the area of deficit. Certain areas, certain positions might be a little bit more difficult for you. Get in that position and mobilize, okay? If you want to sit here in your squat too, if you have a wall or something sturdy, you can get your feet in that squat stance and mobilize that lower spine too, your lumbar. It's nice and tight. People always complain about that pain right above their booty and their lower back. This is what we're targeting. So you're just gonna go back and forth, side to side, move along, get that ball moving. You're gonna spend 3 to 4 minutes is more than enough time here. So again, 3 to 4 minutes. You wanna really just focus on that lower area right here. So your spine comes down, and then this is where my pelvis is about, so I want to stay right above there, and this is all the area we're working, okay? So you're going to start on one side to the right or left of the spine and just move that ball along that line, okay? So 3 to 4 minutes. Then you're going to switch sides, okay? So I'm going to get that ball first placed to the right of my spine, right above my pelvis, right above your glute there, and breathe. I just want to feel the weight of that ball first. Start using my breath, start slowing down my breath. And then again, you can play with your leg positioning, cross your leg. Get into that squat stance, and then just get some movement going. Lift your hips up a little bit, and just get that ball moving side to side. You might find a spot like I just did, that I can feel it's going into my glute. So I'm going to pause here for a second, and I'm just going to work it out. I'm going to get some movement, and then I'm going to use the contract and relax method to try to melt that ball further, further, further. Nice, good. So again, just back and forth, back and forth. That lower lumbar spine. This is also something, if you still feel like you need more once you've done your lumbar, if you want to scooch the ball down and get into the high part of your glutes, you can do that as well. That might feel really great after doing the basic glute smash that we did sitting on the chair. So once you work out that lower lumbar, like I said, it's all connected. So you might want to try to go into your glutes a little bit more. But again, 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, so you just did your left side. Now do your right side. Your lower lumbar, your lowest part of your back you can get without getting into your glutes. But like I said, if you want to play around after doing this on your lower lumbar to get into your glutes, that'd be great too. So 3 to 4 minutes, your left, right side, equal it out. Go ahead and pause this, get the equal times, and then we'll come back for our last stretch. Okay, last stretch. We're going to just get into a nice kind of flow to open your hips, get into your hamstrings just a little bit. Look into your glutes a little bit as well. They should feel really good after everything you just did. So we're gonna get into a high runner's lunge or Spider-Man pose. So you're gonna have your back knee off the floor. You're gonna be on those toes. You're gonna be up 90-degree angle here. You can stay up if you like, or you can put the hand down and just add some movement. Get into this hip. Do some small circles. Add some movement. Spend about 10 seconds here, and then you're gonna drop that back knee, point that toe, flex that front toe. As much as you can, you're going to try to push the back of that knee into the ground, and you're gonna fall down into a hamstring stretch. Now, some people need to stop here, that's fine. Even if you're up here, as long as this leg is straight. Now, those of you that have a little bit more flexibility, go ahead and drop down. And this is all feels great too, to open up your back if you want to walk your hands out and stretch. So get to that hamstring stretch, and I want this to go back and forth 3 times. So back into your Spider-Man, elevated runner's lunge, get some movement, and then drop that knee, flex that toe, and drop down into your hammy. And move around a little bit, stretch. And again, your 3rd time. Back up, get some movement going, get those hips nice and loose. And then again, drop that knee, flex that front foot, get into that hamstring, and stretch. Try to keep your back nice and flat. It's okay if it's rounded a little bit. This is more about your hammy, keeping that foot flexed. And then you're going to go over to your other side, so your right leg. Again, start with that back knee off the ground. Again, you can be up here, you can be down here, it doesn't matter. But get some movement, get some nice stretch in that hip and that quad. Keep your speaker freaking out here. Okay, sorry. And then you're gonna drop that back knee, flex that front foot, and fall back into that hamstring. And again, you can reach those arms out, but just drop your head down and breathe. If you wanna move side to side, great. And then again, back and forth 3 times. So back leg up, get some movement, move around. Really try to keep that back knee as straight as possible. And then drop that knee, point that toe, flex that front foot, and drop down. If you can, if you have the mobility or flexibility, try to find that length in that spine. Great, and then one more time. Forward, some movement. Find that length in that spine when you're in this position too. Really don't default to a rounded spine. Try to always find that length in that spine if you can. And then last one, flex that foot in, find that length, and drop down. Awesome. So that is it for today, guys. We did a lot of lower your legs, a little bit of your lower back. I know that gets really tight on people. So you can do this again post-workout, post-training. Start with your quad smash, get into your glutes, get into that lower lumbar, and you can get more into your glutes while you're on your back as well with that lacrosse ball. So there's kind of a 2-for-1 deal there. But hope you guys are getting some from this, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.